welcome to Only Immaculate English. Today our chapter is Direct and Indirect Speech. You will learn on simple present and simple future. In my previous video, I have completely given all rules of direct and indirect speech. What a direct speech is, what indirect speech is. Now, following those rules, we will proceed into doing each and every sentence. Before starting the sentences, I want to say that this direct and indirect speech will be useful for 4 sections of people: for high school students, college students, for candidates who are going to appear for competitive examinations, and also for businessmen who want to develop their communicative skills. Through English grammar, they will develop their communicative skills. For developing communicative skills, there is no need of grammar, but at the same time, when they learn through grammar, they will easily follow and they will know where they make mistakes. Moreover, this direct and indirect speech, in our day-to-day life, we make converse with our students, with our friends, with our colleagues, and in such way, when we express our ideas to our colleagues, they will say our ideas in our presence to the third person. They convey our message without changing its actual sense. So, in my previous video, I have already explained what direct speech is. What is direct speech? A direct speech is that in which the speaker uses his actual words. When the actual words are spoken by the speaker, those are direct speech, and when in the absence of the speaker, when the words are conveyed to the third person through the second person indirectly without changing the meaning of the sense, we call it indirect speech. Here, direct and indirect speech, before starting that, I would like to once again recall you what a reported verb is, what a reporter is, and what an inverted what the message, what is the sentence in the inverted commas is. Let us see in the sentence. Once again I tell you all the sentences are in present tense, simple present and future tense. He says, I am unwell. In this says, it is reported verb. We call it main verb also. Main verb, principal verb. We call it principal verb or reported verb, and he is reporter. He reports. What he reports is within inverted commas. Here, his subject, he says, that is reported verb. This inverted, what the message given or the sentence which implies within the inverted commas says something based on this reported verb. That means reported verb says here about the subject, and the subject what he says is within inverted commas. Here, so far this present sentence are concerned, sentences are concerned, we don't change the tense. Only the pronouns in the given in the inverted commas will be changed here. Look here, he says, I am unwell. Here, he says, when says is there, it is simple present. We don't change again in writing indirect speech. He will be written, he says. Look here, he says, I am unwell. I refers to he. Here, I refers to he. So, I is the subject, here he. For he, again we have to write he only. Subject. He says, he, we can write the conjunction sometimes we need not write. He says, he, present tense, that is why is. He is unwell. Even if you don't add conjunction here, meaning is understood, because in simple present tense sometimes we need not add conjunction. He says, I am unwell. He says, he is unwell, or he says that he is unwell. He says, I have passed the exam. Here, he says, it is also the reported verb in the simple present. He says, I have passed the exam. The sentence given within inverted commas is in present perfect. Actually, as per our rule, we have to change present perfect sentence into past perfect. But here, reported verb is in simple present. So reported, we have to follow the reported verb. As per the reported verb, we need to change inverted the sentences given in the reported speech. Now we change only pronouns. If there are any pronouns here, we have to change. Now you see, he says, I have passed the exam. I refers to he. He says, write as it is. He says that. You can add this conjunction that, or you may not. Even if you don't add, meaning does not change. He says that I refers to he. Third person singular, again we have to write he. For first person I, we have written have. Here we have to, third person singular, we have to write has. The tense is in present perfect, it does not change. The tense doesn't change. So we have to write in the same present perfect. For I first person we have written have. For third person he, we have to write has. He says that he has passed. He has passed the exam, the examination. Exam means examination. Here he says, I have passed the exam. What changes we have made here? The sentence is in present perfect. As per our rule, we have to change present perfect sentence into past perfect. But we have kept it as it is. Why? Because the reported verb is in simple present. When the reported verb is in simple present, we don't change the tense of the sentence. I refers to he. That is why we have written he. After he says, we have written conjunction that he says that he has passed the exam. Now, in the third sentence, he says, I am glad to be here this evening. I am glad to be here this evening. This is in the inverted commas. This is reported speech, reported verb and reporter. What does he say? He says, I am glad to be here this evening. I refers to he. Right? As it is, he says. It is also simple present. All the sentences today I am explaining are only in simple present. He says that I refers to he, that is why we write he only. He says that he, for I in simple present am comes. Here for simple present he is comes. He is glad to be here this evening. Look here, he says that he is glad to be here this evening. Here the time sense is followed. The time, there is no more gap in the time sense. We write as it is. Actually, I am glad to be here this evening. When it is present, simple present, we have to change into simple past. But here the reported verb is in simple present, so tense should not be changed. We can write. We need not write here as per the rule there. Why? Because the whole sentence is in simple present. He says, I am glad to be here. Just the change is made in I. I refers to he. That is why we have written he, and the verb appropriate here verb is. He is. He says that he is glad to be here this evening. Next, teacher says to Ravi, the moon revolves round the earth. And in present tense sentences, there may be some universal truth, some scientific facts. Here, the teacher says to Ravi, the moon revolves round the earth. It is a universal truth. It does not change, you know. The teacher says to. Here, the change is made. Says to becomes tells. We already have come to know about this in our previous video about rules. Says to becomes tells. The teacher tells Ravi. The teacher tells Ravi. We have changed this says to tells. The teacher tells. We should not write tells to. The teacher tells Ravi that since it is a universal truth, write it as it is. The moon revolves. That the moon revolves round the earth. Now let us see fifth sentence. The teacher says to Malati, the sun sets in the west. It is also a sentence based on universal truth. Now says to, reported verb is says to. It is changed into tells. The teacher tells. The teacher tells Malati. That we have to remove comma, as we are removing comma and inverted commas, we have to write conjunction that. The teacher tells Malati that the sun sets in the west. We have to write as it is. The sun sets in the west, full stop. So what change we have made here? Just says to change it to tells. The teacher tells Malati the sun sets in the west. It is since it is a universal truth, we have written it as it is. So now sixth one, Ravi tells Rahim. Here reported verb is tells. Write it as it is. Ravi tells Rahim. Ravi tells Rahim. Here the brick drowns in water. The brick drowns in water. It is a scientific fact. So write scientific fact, write it as it is, that the brick drowns in water. Scientific truth and also universal truth, we have to write for scientific facts and universal truth, we write them as it is. Raj will say, I know English. In this sentence, it is in simple future. In the same way, Mohan will say, I learn English every day. It is also in simple future. How to do it? Let us see. Raj will say, I know English. Write it as it is. Raj will say. Raj will say, I know English. I is first person. That is why we have written here plain verb. Now, when I refers to Raj, what is the subject here? Raj. So, in third person, he comes. Raj will say that. We have removed comma and inverted commas. That is why we have added conjunction that he, I refers to Raj. That is why in that place we have written he, third person he. I know, I first person. No, plain verb. Here he, third person. Here plain verb is know, knows. K-N-O-W-S, knows. It is changed into third person singular. He knows English. So in this way we have written Raj will say I know English. Raj will say that he knows English. Now eighth one, Mohan will say, in the same way write down. Mohan will say, look here, I learn English every day. Here I again refers to Mohan. Mohan subject. I refers to Mohan. So what subject will write here? Third person singular, he. Mohan will say that he, I learn English every day. That he learns. Alright? He learns. L-E-A-R-N-S, learns. That he learns English. Look here once again. I, first person. That is why the plain verb learn is written here. When it is changed into he, third person singular, third person singular verb must be written here in accordance with the subject. He learns English daily. Learns English every day. Next, the students say we daily go to college. This is in simple present. We daily go to college. Actually, when the sentence we daily go to college is simple present, as per rule should be changed into simple past. But here reported verb, it depends upon reported verb. The reported speech sentences depend upon the reported verb here. The students say we daily go to college. So here we have to change, we should not change the tense, we have to change only pronouns here. The students say that we refers to the students. So the students means third person plural they, we have to write they. The students say that they daily go to college. In this way, what I have understood, the sentences within inverted commas are the reported speech or the reported sentences depend upon the reported verb. We daily go to college. Even if it is simple present, as per rule, though we have to change in simple past, here the reported verb is in future tense. Here that is why we should not change the tense. Next, she says to Harshita, I am a doctor. Look here, she says to Harshita, I am a doctor. This is simple present. Actually, you have to change into simple past. But here, says to, when says to simple present is the verb is there, reported verb, we have to should not change the tense of the reported speech. Let us see, says to will be changed into, as per rule, tells. She tells Harshita. Let us write that. She tells Harshita. She tells Harshita that, who tells here? Harshita or she? She tells Harshita, but not Harshita. Here, I refers to she, but not Harshita. I refers to she. She says to Harshita. That is why this she refers to third person. We have to write as it is. She tells Harshita that she. I first person. We have written verb helping verb am. But here she third person singular. That is why we have to write is. She tells Harshita that she is a doctor. Like this, in this video, we have changed direct speech into indirect speech based on only simple present and simple future. If you feel it useful, then like and subscribe, and you share it to your friends and your kith and kin.